Sandy Shook. Thank you for joining me today. The mission of Coffee with Sandy is really about bringing hope to others out there because we do have pivotal moments in our life that change the direction of where we think we're going to be and what actually happens in our life. So today I am privileged to have June sitting with me. June, if you could introduce yourself, that'd be great.
Yeah. Hi, I'm June Sands. I'm the owner of AmPro Inspections. We're a residential and commercial property inspection company. We're in Colorado Springs, but we do travel from Pueblo to Denver and as far east as Callahan to Woodland Park. We pretty much are a one-stop shop for inspections and testing needs. So
great. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for being. I'm glad to be here. Finally,
yes,
for the cut.
Exactly. So we met almost, 2.5 years ago, if not a little bit longer, just through networking. But prior to that, we have a mutual friend that tried to connect us, just because she had gone with you to an event, and she's like, "You have to meet June," and it took months for us to actually connect.
I want to say maybe years. I think she's mentioned your name a few times, and I just didn't put two and two together.
Yeah. So, yay! Now we're together,
and we still, all three of us, still have not
gotten together. So that's fun. I know, it's crazy. Yeah. So, when you were 2 years old, hey, just trying to get a laugh. Do you remember when you were in second grade? Do you remember what you wanted to do?
In second grade? Oofda. No, I do not, actually. Elementary school, I wanted to be a marine biologist. I wanted to work with dolphins. Like, I loved dolphins for the longest time.
How did you?
Random, just random.
Are you from Colorado Springs?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I'm from Minot, North Dakota. So obviously you think of dolphins when you think of the Dakotas.
That's right.
Which is a logical explanation of dolphins. But yeah, I don't know what it was. I really don't. I just remember that specifically. And then when I got older, I wanted to be a psychologist. Couldn't tell you why. That was the two things that I remember.
Yeah. So when you got older, that was like high school?
Yeah, probably like high school, yeah. But,
wow.
Anything since then is it's just,
kind of a blur.
Yeah, yesterday is a blur. So.
And then things come up and then you're like, oh
yeah. Right?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
So what brought you out to Colorado then?
I'm one of 6 kids. And so I have 3 brothers, 2 other sisters, and my oldest brother was living in Colorado Springs. And we had decided in 1996, my 2 brothers and my parents and I were going to take a trip to Colorado Springs to visit him.
And you stayed?
I stayed. My parents dropped me off. They pretty much left me and they went back to Minot and shipped me my belongings.
Oh, wow.
Which,
that's incredible.
Had they not done that, I would probably still be in North Dakota.
Yep.
So, but the rest of my siblings and my parents all kind of migrated to Colorado Springs and Colorado. So, yeah.
So when you came out here, I'm sure that your parents were a little concerned. Did you have a job?
No, but I found one very quickly because I was paying my brother rent. So, yeah.
So where'd you end up?
I got a job at the mall.
Oh.
Obviously, when you're 19, that's what you do.
Yes.
And then I got a job at Independent Records, which was...
Oh, that would be fun.
It was so much fun. And I met so many people. And, people that are from Colorado Springs that know Independent Records, it's like a staple of the community. Like as far as, growing up and knowing, everybody knew Independent Records. They had so many locations. And I met a lot of people through there, honestly. It was almost like a music network. Yeah. Networking group.
Well, and of course that probably set you off onto being a little less introverted.
No, still.
So it gave you the opportunity to talk to people, but just one-on-one.
Yeah, I was a cashier. So, yeah.
But it was a networking.
It was. I mean, your coworkers and stuff, and then it was kind of a revolving door. So you get to know, all the different people that are employed there. And then the regular customers would come in. And so, but yeah. Wow. I mean, there's a few people that this was back in 97, 98, that I've reconnected in the business world today, which is pretty cool.
That is.
Yeah.
That's really
it's
neat.
really fun. So.
Well, okay, so after independent records, then what happened?
Oh, let's see. So my dad passed away in 97 after I moved here.
And sorry to hear that.
He had left it's called a survivor's benefit plan. So basically, if his kids wanted to go to school, they had a financial assistance for families. And so I used that, and I went to Denver Technical College. And when I got there, there was a posting on this bulletin board for a finance assistant at USA Volleyball. I was like, I don't know what that is. However, I worked at a body shop for a little bit, and so I had some of that experience, and I love volleyball. So I was like, I'll apply. Did a resume, my first resume ever, and I don't know how I got the job, because looking back at it now, it's like, what did you submit? Because it was terrible. But I got hired on the spot. I left my body shop position that I was at as a secretary receptionist, and September 9/8/98, I started at USA Volleyball as a finance assistant. And no, I was at USAV I actually left I was 19 years and 7 months to the day when I retired.
Wow.
So I retired in 2018.
Huh.
And then I moved over to.
So what made you then leave?
It was just there were just some changes that, I kind of didn't feel were for me. Mm-hmm. So at the time, my partner started AmPro, and I saw a vision, and I saw a potential to really grow something into a really successful, as we call it, an empire at the time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I really wanted to be a part of that, and so I left on great terms. Like, I still talk to a lot of the people at USAV. They were my family. I literally grew up there. But yeah, so I made that transition, and I did all admin with AmPro, and then kind of was watching it, and then lots of change since that time. But
and then you became the owner, sole owner.
Majority, yeah. I have a couple of partners, but I'm.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah, I'm majority owner though, so I'm the only one in operations of the company. So
great.
Yep.
So when you shifted to that, was there anything that the growing pains of shifting to being more, I guess, I don't know how to put it, more more responsible for the day-to-day stuff. I mean, it's not like you weren't before, but
and I put everything into. It's like I was like the paper pusher, and then I had we've gone through a lot of changes, but I've always had people in the field, doing like the inspection stuff, and managing that side, and I was like, I'm gonna do payroll, but when everything kind of changed, and I was left to my own, just me basically, and my experience, mm-hmm. It was absolutely terrifying. It was, I didn't know how to quit, or if I could quit, or all these things, because our structure is a little bit different than most. Mm-hmm. And I stuck it out, and I don't even know how I did it, honestly. I look back.
That was going to be my question. How did you get through that?
Before I started networking, this is so weird. I had a few people that had known me, before these changes, and I had a buddy invite me to the Southern Women's Chamber of Commerce mm-hmm. breakfast. And
great organization.
To the event, or to be a member, and I joined, and then I went to the first Friday breakfast, and I sat at a table with a gentleman, a photographer. His name is Gene, and Gene says, "Hey, I have a networking group. Would you like to attend?" I was like, "Okay, sure." And that was my first real networking group. It was absolutely Oh my gosh.
Your introvert person was like,
I had no idea.
I don't want to do this anymore.
What is commercial? What is this? Like,
yes.
Yeah. And so, and then I attended that. I joined that group, and it kind of helped me, just get accustomed to doing networking things. And then I joined the Women's Chamber membership committee. And then I kind of just branched out, and I just made these connections and joined COS Boss Babes when that was there. And then just all these things just kind of fell into my lap, and I just made these connections. And it was basically, it stemmed from essentially networking groups and the Women's Chamber, as I have to give credit to them, because they've just helped me significantly, and I can't say enough about that.
So do you have people in the inspection industry that you actually do meet up with periodically, so that you can kind of balance, or
not as much as I would like to? It's an interesting industry. There is, I've actually made friends with a couple of other inspection companies here, which is really cool. There's not that, there's not a lot of, just, I don't say backstabbing, but there's no, petty interaction. We support each other. We don't have this, the scarcity mindset, like, oh, this is my, because we do things that they don't do, and they do things that we don't do, or go places that might not be the best, option for us. And so they've become extremely good friends. I consider them good friends. And I also consider him a mentor of sorts.
Well, and that's what I feel too when I meet up with other lenders, from different companies, because I think it is a great idea, because you never know what, there were people that were coming to me a couple of years ago with wanting, a specific loan, and I couldn't do it. And guess what? I knew those people that I could call up and say, hey, I trust you,
right?
Because I've gotten to know them.
I've got inspection companies in Denver who I can rely on, and no judgment, no, from them, it's all support. Like, they help me with something as simple as, let's say, a radon drop. I've got people across the country, because I was a part of a network, a national network of inspection companies. And so they're all bouncing off ideas, because we're all using a lot of the same products. And so things that I don't know about these products, they will, because they've been doing this a lot longer than I have.
Yeah.
And we've been in business since 2017, but I've really only been exposed to the direct inspection process, and that in the field stuff for going on 4. Well,
and then you also have been adding so many things to what you're capable of doing, the certifications that you have all your techs get. I think it's just great, because you're not afraid of growth. And yet you also too are not afraid of helping somebody educate themselves in a different way as well. And that's, the more they know, it just reflects better on my company. And I want to empower these guys to they're more than just inspectors. These guys are brilliant, but they are amazing. I love my team. I cannot, like, I've just watched them grow. They're like your little kids. I've watched them grow, because I was the first company that they all started with. All 3 of my guys. Like, they had no other experience before AmPro. And so watching them get their license or get their certification, and then, just build this knowledge in the field and on the job training and doing everything else, and even creating their own, like bringing in their own expertise in different areas. It's really special. Yeah. And, one day I want to have them run their own teams, like have different locations, and they can be in charge of, and because they're just kind, and they have such integrity, and they're putting the work in, and they've stuck with us through, like, the COVID and, the slow times and everything else. And so, there's some people that don't want to put in the time, because, if this person leaves my company and they do their own thing, that's just a chance you have to take, and there's clauses you can put in agreements, but whatever. But yeah, I want to see them succeed. And if I can be a part of that process,
great, because I'm not going to be here forever. Nobody is. So,
well, so back in grade school, marine biologist.
Inspection company. Yeah, it's just weird.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
the things that you think that your life is going to be, and look where you are now.
Business.
Yeah,
I never in a million years, and I just didn't. It was never something that was ever like I was ever like I ever saw all the time. You know what I mean? Like when I was at USAV, it was like everything was established already, and I just did my thing, and I loved doing it. And it was just, you just kind of just go into autopilot.
Yeah.
But every day it's something different here. Every single day. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me what you are still playing volleyball, because not only did you work for USA Volleyball, but you actually played too.
Yeah, I play not like at that level, but
you were not part of the Olympics.
No, unfortunately.
Did you ever want to be?
No, by the time I started USAV, I wasn't that old, but I had knee injuries, and I was
played too hard.
I intended to play in college, and that was my goal. And the knee injury kind of set me out. And
so what kind of injury, or how'd you get the injury?
Playing. It was my senior year of high school. It was the beginning of the season. We were in Bismarck, and I don't know what I did, and didn't have the best medical care up there. So just kind of let it go and heal on its own, and it never did. And so now I have arthritis, which is super fun. But I play beach volleyball in Colorado Springs, but it's and in Denver. But it's fun. I mean, there's some competitive leagues here, and there's a lot of really good volleyball players in the city. Yeah. I'm not to that level just because I've probably got 10 to 15 years on most of them, but I can still hang with them. Well, I can still hang.
So that's the whole benefit to going back to like your business and working with other inspectors and getting to know what they do. Even in a sport like that. Yeah. I feel that you can learn so much more with somebody that is more skilled than you are, because it's like, how the heck did you just do that? But then to be able to watch them and kind of emulate them a little bit.
Yeah. They push me, and I'll watch what they're doing. I'm like, that's what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
And I learn from them. And they might not know it, but I am. And then there's a lot of times when it's funny as I've actually turned a lot of my volleyball friends, they've used me for inspections. And and you know how, there's realtors everywhere, and there's quite a bit of realtors in the volleyball community. So it's
I guess I didn't realize that. I need to put that quite up again.
There's quite a few, actually. There's more than I thought, and it's really funny because you see these people all the time, and you don't realize you don't know them. You know them with volleyball, but then you're like, so what do you do anyways? It's like, I'm a realtor. Oh, what do you do? I'm a home inspector. Wait, what? So, and it's funny how that works out. And there's a couple of lenders who I play with. That
what?
Yeah. But it's fun. It's
no competition.
It's a small community. Colorado Springs. We were talking about it this morning. It's a really small, big town. Yeah,
it is amazing how many people that I can run into that somebody else knows, and people say, Sandy, you know everybody, and it's like, no, not yet.
Right.
But I will.
I do the same thing. But it's a compliment, because I love being able to connect people, because if somebody says, oh, I'm looking for this person, or I need this person, or I'm looking for this, 90% of the time I have somebody that I know and I can trust. And especially as a woman, when it comes to trades, we're walking targets for some of these people. Yeah. And so if I need a plumber, I know good plumbers that I can trust. And as a woman, I feel like, okay, you're not going to try to rip me off. Yeah. I'm not saying plumbers do that, but we all know the
That's just stories. An example.
It's just trades, like mechanics. But yeah, so it's very rewarding at the end of the day to have those connections, and it comes back to you.
Yeah. So. And what's crazy is that I really didn't do a whole lot of networking before I got into lending. I actually went to the Tri-Lakes Chamber, a business after hours event up in Perry Park, years ago with my sister Kathy. And it was because she was starting a cleaning business. And I said, let's just go, let's just meet people. And after I walked away, we were driving away from that. And I said, I don't know why I haven't been in the community this way already. Who cares if I don't have a business? It's really a great idea to be part of a chamber, to go to the after hours so that you get to know people in case you need, at least if you have a connection, you know them personally, the connection personally enough that you can trust who they're or they're referring you to for, bringing a stranger into your house.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Because then you know who to go after if something goes wrong.
It's funny because
this is a positive show, though.
I was in my bubble for almost 20 years. I was in my volleyball bubble. Like nothing existed. Like I'm like, oh, there's life outside the USOC and what? Like it was such a foreign concept to me. Like it was so bizarre that, I was, when I was put out into, to the real world, I was like, holy cow, there is a lot that this community has to offer. Yeah. There's all these charities, there's, the chambers, it was insane, the stuff that I've been introduced to that I've missed out on for so many years. Well,
you bring up charities, and thank you for doing that, because that is one of the things that you actually invited me to join you a few times for the one the one charity that you support. You want to talk a little bit about that?
So I support a lot. I try to support a lot, but I can't wear myself thin. Right. So I try to focus on there's 3 or 4 that I focus on directly, but specifically Angels of America's Fallen. I have been volunteering since 2019. Oh, wow. And we actually met them. We were a sponsor for one of their bowling event. And I got to know Joe and Shelley Lewis. They're the founders of it. Joe's the founder of it. Amazing people. Amazing people. But
such a great organization too.
What they do essentially is they take at-risk youth, because these kids are considered at risk when they lose a parent. And they take the kids and they put them through a program of some sort, whether it be music, sports, art, dance, or just anything that provides mentorship to them. And they support them till their 19th birthday. And that is, that's unheard of, and every single year they just grow on me more and more and more, just when I think they can. Yeah. And I hear the stories, and they do a gala every year, and they have these keynote speakers. And the last couple of years have been kids that have gone through the program. Don't wear makeup, because you're just it's gonna end up being gone by the time they're done. Yeah. But just, they're national, like they're headquartered here, but they support kids all over. And if I could just give them $1 million, I would. They're just incredible humans, and these kids are so special, and they're so strong. And to hear them tell these stories of their parents, and some knew them, some didn't, but just to hear them, with such grace and the way they articulate and all these things. And some of them have watched their parent die, or they were alive when their parent passed, and it's incredible. They're so strong and resilient. Yeah. But yeah, that's my biggest one. I'm on the board of directors now. They welcomed me, and it was an honor to be on it. And so, but we do events all the time. We have a golf tournament coming up September 9th at Perry Park. So I've been sponsoring holes for that for years, but they're still taking foursomes. It's a scramble, super fun. It's so much fun. And it's such a positive event, and it's a happy event, but yeah, there's a couple of charities that I try to be involved in, but it's just that feeling that you get, like when you hear whatever charity it is, but you hear what they're doing, and you get to see what they're doing, and you get to be a part of this extension of your family, is what they turn into.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
And then we were just part of another one just a couple of weekends ago, or was it just this weekend? I don't know. They all fall together.
Oh yeah.
For the Kenna Foundation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's so many great organizations out there to, you know, connect, you know, and that's what I appreciate so much about the people that I've gotten to know through all the different networking and even the community itself, you know, because you wouldn't know these things if you don't get out there. Because trust me, I can sit on the couch just easily enough.
Yeah, because we were sponsoring the holes. You get the golfers that would come up, you know, and they would say, "Oh, so what do you guys do?" And then a lot of them were business people.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, and I know people. There's a lot of good people in this state.
Yeah, there's a lot of giving hearts.
So many, and it's just incredible to just witness, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so family of how many, you said?
One of six.
One of six.
Yeah, 3 boys, 2 girls, Brady Bunch.
Are you the youngest?
I'm Jan.
Oh.
I'm Jan Brady. So.
Okay.
If you get that reference.
Totally do. I'm not sure if everybody will, but so what was it like growing up with what people now consider a large family?
Yeah, I mean, so I'm a military family. We grew up, you know, Minot's a military town. You know, there's not a lot of Black and Asian kids running around Minot, North Dakota. So, but
did you travel a lot with the military?
I was born and raised in Minot. I was there for 20 years.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow. So you learned a lot.
Yeah.
Just like trial and
so the military brat term didn't apply to me apparently, which is kind of sad. But yeah, no. My mom was a single mom for the first, you know, my first few years, and then she met my stepdad who was in the Air Force, and yeah, he took us in, 5 kids and my mom, and I'm like, God bless you. Like looking back, I'm like, he just, you know, it's just, okay, so he's my stepdad now. And he raised all 5 of us. I have a little brother. So there were 6 of us at that then. But yeah, it was, I had a really good childhood. Yeah. You know, I don't know what I would have done without my siblings. Like, I mean, we're all still close still. Yeah. We're all in Colorado. So,
I just didn't realize everybody.
Yeah,
you did say they migrated, but I wasn't
all the
sure.
boys are in Denver, and then the girls are in Colorado Springs.
Wow. Okay, good.
Yeah, and my mom lives with me, so yeah.
Very cool.
It's awesome.
So,
it's really cool.
Did you all celebrate holidays then, or?
Yep. And when we can, I mean, I've got 16, 17 nieces and nephews, so everybody's kind of got their own thing going on. But I'll try to bring my mom to whatever whoever decides to host the holiday. So I'm the chauffeur of grandma.
So what's your favorite holiday? What was your favorite when you were growing up, and what is it now?
Growing up, it was Christmas. We didn't have a lot of money at all, at all. But somehow Christmas ended up being just presents galore. You know,
same here.
And you just don't see those struggles that your parents go through, or at least I didn't. And now I'll probably say Thanksgiving. Probably Thanksgiving. Christmas kind of fell away, you know, just the just the commercialization of it is just hard to get past. The religious side is great, but everything else is just it's almost sad with what it's turned into. But yeah, probably Thanksgiving. That's when most of my family, we almost all get together at Thanksgiving. And
I think that Christmas now too, as being an adult, we understand how well our parents did trying to bring the family together, and how stressful it is bringing all the kids together. And I mean, it's like when I'm around a lot of noise with a lot of kids screaming and playing, I have to remind myself it's a good thing, but it's like,
Halloween's a fun one too. Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
I've learned to.
That's a holiday? No.
I think it is.
I know. I say that, but I know it is.
It used to be 4th of July, and now I'm just like, I love the fire, but they never get old.
Yeah.
It never gets old. Like
I'll go to the baseball games.
Like a little kid, and you see like the really big ones, like ooh and ah. And it's like you've seen this many times, but you still it's like seeing deer around town. You know?
Yes, exactly.
It's like, oh my gosh, look at the deer.
So that's one of the things that I was going to ask you too. Is you have a favorite animal?
Favorite, yeah, definitely cats.
Really?
Hands down, cats. Oh yeah.
Huh?
I'm a total cat lady. God, if I could have 10.
Serious?
Oh yeah. If I could have 10 not clean litter boxes, I would have.
Yeah, well,
and not pay the vet bills, absolutely. Absolutely.
Love it. I just found out about Big R doing the vaccinations for really cheap. There's a vet that travels to Big R to.
My cats are vaccinated. They got that, but I have one that's got hyperthyroidism, so she can't maintain weight.
Yeah.
And then the other one's the complete opposite. I'm like.
Well, they're just like kids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're so expensive.
Yeah.
And the old, I mean, she's 15, Zoe, but she's a short gray hair. She's thing. But I don't have, like.
So do you consider your cats then the piece of you that gets you out of a funk? Or do you?
They help. They do. People are like, cats are jerks. I'm like, no, they are. But.
Depends upon
but they're nice when they want to be,
jerk or not.
When it comes down to it, they are loving. It depends, and they love you. They just not going to show you sometimes. Mm-hmm. Like my girl, she doesn't want to be around me for the most part. When I'm in bed before I go to bed, she'll just come up on my bed and just like start purring, and then she will literally just like plop. I mean, she just like plops down. Oh. It's the cutest thing, and she'll sit there and just purr her heart out. Yeah, and it's great. I love it.
And when you said my girl, I was thinking of a Kimmy.
Yeah.
Instead of the cat. And then I'm like, she was talking about the cat.
Yeah. But Kimmy's 12, so she.
I did not ask you about your daughter.
And she was just like, oh, I'm 12. I don't need you.
It starts about that age for sure.
I know she loves me, but she just is like,
right. She's starting to play volleyball.
I can't tell her anything. Oh yeah. So she's in her 3rd year.
Oh gosh, here I am starting. No, she's been in it. I didn't realize. So wow.
Yeah. So she's in her 3rd year with the local club here. They're doing indoor. But then on the off season, which is the end in like April, she started doing doubles beach.
Ooh.
So she's actually in Hermosa. Their flight is actually right now.
Oh, where is she
playing a national tournament in Hermosa Beach. Her and her partner got a bid. They earned a spot at this national 12 under tournament.
So cool. So she's been watching her mama.
Yeah, she's been on the beach and
learning from her mama.
Yeah. Hopefully not the bad habits, but luckily I've got friends that are good. We control what
they pick up.
We got friends who are good that will pepper with her and they'll play with her, but she loves it. She's so excited.
Good.
I'm so excited for her. I wasn't able to go, but her dad was able to take her. So I thank God for that because I know she's 12, and if she misses it, not the end of the world. You got to pick your battles. But I know she was just super stoked to go because they earned this spot. Like you had to earn. Yeah. Like not anybody can just go in and play. Like you have to qualify to get that spot. And so they did. So they qualified for 2 tournaments this summer.
Wow.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a setter.
You're not a setter. You're not proud of her at all.
I'm not a setter. She's already got better hands than me. So there's that.
But you're a hitter.
I'm a hitter.
Yeah.
I was a hitter. So she's a setter, and she's probably almost 5'7" right now. So I'm 5'9". Her dad is 6'2". And so it's gonna be interesting to where she goes because my dad was 6'5".
Oh, really?
But my mom was 4'11". So
holy moly.
Yeah.
6'5" with a
4'11". So I'm like,
And my dad, I think, was 6'2".
So I'm kind
and
of
my mom was 6'4".
Oh, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So tiny.
Yeah. I know. I'm hoping. I'm praying.
She probably doesn't consider herself tiny, but.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
So do you have anything on, do you consider yourself a bucket list keeper?
No.
No?
No, same with resolutions. like I'll make it and then I forget that they exist. And then someone's like, what's on your bucket list? I have no idea. Like I think one thing for sure on my bucket list is to take Akemi to Okinawa. And the other one is I want to go to those dome things in up north, way up north. I want to say Norway or Switzerland, somewhere up in the northern hemisphere where you can see the northern lights.
Oh yeah,
and you get to sleep in
the ones that you get to sleep in them,
clear, and you just that's what I miss. I mean, we had them in North Dakota, not to like they weren't like, extremely vibrant by any means, but they were still. You get the gist of them.
Right. And being in Minnesota too, we got them. And I was like, oh, those are cool.
Right.
And now it's like, I really miss the opportunities to see them.
And to describe them to people is just like, you just can't.
And the pictures just don't do it justice either. Well, and it's freaky.
Yeah.
To see them too and not know what they are.
Right. But so if I have a bucket list, those are the two big ones that I want. Everything else is kind of like, if it happens, that'd be amazing. But those two are like, like those are attainable. Like I think I can actually make those happen pretty easily. Yeah.
So what are 3 words that actually describe you? Has anybody given you any kind of indication, or do you know?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Faithful, determined, and teachable. I don't know a very more professional way to say it, but
yeah. And I would add strong. Because you do have a lot of strength with the challenges that you've actually been through in the last 3, 4, how many years? But you also have pushed through, and that's what I admire a lot about you. Just to hear your stories and know that it's not always easy out there, but
thank you. You've been a huge supporter, so you are part of that circle that's helped me survive. So well, I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much, June, and thank you all very much for coming and listening to Coffee with Sandy. I am a mortgage advisor. I actually can try to set you up on a plan. If you can't purchase a home right now, let's just talk and figure it out to get you set up so that you know when you can. If you're in a home and you're not really sure if it makes sense to refinance because your rates are pretty good right now, sometimes, it might make better sense for you to actually review your finances with me to give you some more money at the end of your month. Give me a call if you just want to take a look. And June, if you can let everybody know how to reach you, that would be great. Awesome. So AmPro Inspections, you can email us at fastreply@amproinspection.com or call us at 719-581-7227.
Thank you so much. Thanks again, June. And thank you everybody for staying tuned. See you next time.